Have you lost your way? Is your business or life missing a purpose, or are you struggling to find a purpose? In this show, I'm going to share with you the secrets of great leaders and explain how their thinking and behaviour transforms businesses even during the toughest of times. And at the end of this show, I'm going to give you a free gift that you can download, written by two remarkable people, that's going to enable you to really find your true purpose for your business and your life.
It's time to love your business with Love Your Business TV. Here's your host, Adrian Peck.
Hello, I'm Adrian Peck and welcome to Love Your Business TV. I am the founder and entrepreneur of Better Never Stops. We deliver business advice and coaching service to entrepreneurs and business leaders who run or want to run £1 million plus turnover businesses. Now, every week I bring to you Love Your Business TV, our podcast and a YouTube live video that we share with all you wonderful entrepreneurs and business owners that help you hopefully motivate you and inspire you to run better businesses, earn more money, live better lives, and most importantly, have much more fun in your business as well. What I want to share with you this week is how to put purpose into your business. And I'm going to share with you a presentation that was actually done by a gentleman called Paul Dunn. Paul Dunn is the chairman of B1G1, but in his life, he's a serial entrepreneur and an extremely remarkable guy. He's a TEDx four times TEDx speaker as well, does lots of training and motivation and stuff around the world. I'm going to give you kind of an abbreviated version of a presentation he actually done to my networking group called Networking for Good, but I'm going to share you kind of a summary of that, and on the program notes I'm going to give you links so you can see the whole of that presentation he done, but I want to share with him some of the insights that he gave me and the guys that were on that call that morning on the Networking for Good, around kind of how really great leaders have purpose in their business and how that helps them transform their businesses, and really about how you can apply that to your business. And I'm also going to share some stuff about how that some working examples of how you can give that to your business. At the end of this show, I've also got a free gift for you. You can download for free that Paul and a guy called Paul Dunn and Steve Pipe have given me a book that I can share with you. It's completely for free. You haven't even got me to give me your email address. It will just be in the program notes, and you can download this free gift. And that's really going to enable you to put that purpose in your business. It's a really great. The book is literally, it's an hour and a half long to read, and it's something you can do really quick in your business. So like I said, I'm going to share with you this presentation that Paul done. I'm going to kind of skip through parts of it. I'm just going to give you a summary of it all, but hopefully you'll get a good feeling from it about really what it is you can do with your business around purpose. So when you look at today's and what's happening in the world today, we have this great deal of uncertainty at the moment. And obviously the crisis we've gone through, the pandemic, has caused a lot of upset in businesses. But if you can imagine now from where we are today, we do know that in the future there's going to be certainty. At the moment we have this great uncertainty. In the future we're going to have certainty. Why? Because invariably through every crisis that ever happens, whether it's pandemics like this and Spanish flu and things like that, or world wars, we always know that at some point certainty is going to happen and some sort of normality is going to return where there is more certainty in our world. What happens during these uncertain times is, in essence, three types of business leaders emerge. You have, firstly, and I'm sure you've seen this, I'm sure you witnessed it, hopefully I'm sure you haven't done it yourself, but there is the first type of business leader that actually is going to panic. What does that look like? They put their business on freeze, or they run around like a headless chicken. The second type then is kind of really this kind of wave that goes through, and actually is kind of a passive or drift leader. And what in essence they're going to do, they've kind of just almost gone numb to it, and they've kind of put their head in the sand, and their business is kind of just going through the motions, or they're going through the motions at all, indeed. So the third type of business leader, and I'm hoping that that you are this person, if not that you inspire to be this person, and through what I'm going to share with you in this show, hopefully you'll be able to put these principles in place. But there is a third type of leader, and it's a purpose-driven leader. It's a purpose-driven leader that can rise up above all this and actually look and seek new opportunities and new ways of doing business. Now, there's something that's very common between all these leaders and these purpose-driven leaders that are out there. And they have a consistency, or they know they are consistently the best when they're giving. And that's about having purpose in their business and purpose in their life. And that's why they're giving, and they're very giving people. What they also recognize is that we're all at our best when we are giving. Now, that isn't necessarily about giving money. That's about giving, whether that's even down to helping somebody across the road, to helping out your neighbour. I mean, how do you feel when you do that? You are always at your best when you are giving. So how do you then put that into your business? Now, again, when you come back to these great business leaders, what they understand is that when they have this purpose, is it allows them to transform their businesses. And they can actually then shift their enterprise to that new purpose, because they're constantly giving, they're constantly looking at what they can do for their customers, their suppliers, their society, their staff, their team. It's all around that purpose driven. And therefore it allows them very easily not to pivot, but to transform their businesses into something else. Now, what you want you to see here is this large gap that's between this panic and the driven. Now, it's often when you see businesses that get left behind and kind of almost get left in the dust of when these type of crises hit. But you also get other businesses that really accelerate away and get left, are well in the distance because of those gaps. And it's just that difference in thinking and the difference of having that purpose in your business. Now, you often hear, and I'm sure you'll hear businesses now, about getting back on track. Well, what does getting back on track actually mean? It actually means that you're going to carry on and end up going to the future in exactly the same form that you already are. You're going to get back on track. What you actually need to do, and you need to follow these purpose-driven business leaders and businesses, it's a time to rise. And it is the best time for you to rise as well. A lot of business owners that I talk to, a lot of entrepreneurs that I talk to are talking about the effects that this has had on them and also on their businesses. And therefore they are starting to think differently about what it is, what they want out of life. So this is why it's so important that it's now your time to rise. So how do you do that? The first thing that you have to have is you have to have a why. You have to have a purpose in your life and your business. Now, Simon Sinek has written a great book about this. It's about start with why. It's a really, really great read. I really urge you to get a copy of it, to download it or on Audible. I listen to a lot of books on Audible, a really great way of doing it. But Simon Sinek talks about having a why in your business. And then therefore, when you have that why in your business, your business becomes a force for good. Because you have that purpose in yourself and your business, you can then break through these barriers and achieve so much more. But he also says one of the things that Simon talks about is the fact that true purpose is always human. True purpose is always human. And it's not about this. It's not about our aim is to be the biggest. Our aim of our business is to be the best. It's not about that. That is not human. So what does human look like? Human looks like this. We enable ambitious entrepreneurs to enjoy their journey, live their dream, and leave them feeling inspired and empowered to grow sustainable, successful businesses that make a positive impact on their local community. Okay, we enable ambitious entrepreneurs to enjoy their journey, live their dream, and leave them feeling inspired and empowered to grow sustainable, successful businesses that make a positive impact on the local community. That's not about big, it's not about best, it's not about anything like that. It's all about this human touch that's in there, the human connection. True purpose is always human. So if you're struggling at this point going, okay, that's really great, Adrian, but what is why? How do I even find my why? I'm going to give you a little help here in terms of something you can go to. There are 17 whys that you can very easily connect to. These 17 whys are the global goals, the Sustainable Development Goals, as put together by the United Nations and all the great leaders and business leaders of the world. They got together and formed these 17 global goals. These global goals, if you search for United Nations global goals, you'll see all this stuff on here, and they are really, really great places to start. Now, the really important message in here is that when all these were put together, I think it's around 2015, and these were seen as the global goals that everybody needed to come together in the world, on the globe, to come together by 2030 to move our society forward. And you can see there's quite powerful ones here, and if you observe a podcast, you can download these on the program notes, or you just search for the global goals on the United Nations, and you'll see these are really powerful goals. Now, the important message in here was that when the United Nations put these together, the one strong thing that they said is that you perceive it's about governments and politicians that are the forefront of all this, and they're the ones that are going to drive these sustainable goals. And it's really not that case at all. Their message to the world was that it's actually entrepreneurs, business leaders, business owners that actually have the biggest force and the biggest influence to actually make these global goals happen. So it's our obligation to make all these things happen and to use our businesses as a force for good and drive through these global goals. Now, this is only a suggestion that you can have as one of your whys, or how you can put that purpose and why into your business. But if you're struggling to find something, here's a great template and a great place for you to go and find your whys. So what does it mean for me and my business, and how have I used this in my business? Now, you'll see here, that actually the why that I read out before, and that purpose is actually ours. We enable ambitious entrepreneurs to enjoy their journey, live their dream, and leave them feeling inspired and empowered to grow sustainable, successful businesses that make a positive impact on the local community. That is our why. In short, what it's all about, and what I'm so passionate about, is inspiring ordinary people to live extraordinary lives. How I do that is I found a platform called B1G1, which is about business for good. Again, I'll give you the program notes on here and the links to all this. So we have two very clear objectives in our business, which is to make an impact in the world. Everything that we do is geared towards those impacts. And we have an impact giving pyramid that flows all the way down from our business through our delivery partners and through our customers. And therefore, everything we do is very much driven towards having those impacts. And one of the things that I have learned, certainly in the last few years, is you always have this perception that as an entrepreneur, you have to be really successful to then form this foundation. You look at kind of Bill Gates and Richard Branson, these kind of iconic entrepreneurs of the world, that once they're really successful, they then have these foundations, and it allows them to put impacts back in the world. But actually what I'm saying to you is there are other platforms and other ways that you can make impacts even now. Even as a startup entrepreneur, you can align your business to these impacts, and you can make an impact in the world from day one. And that's really, really cool. And when you start putting those impacts at the center of your business, at the core of what you do, you'll find the connections that will happen around you, the businesses that you work with, the suppliers you work with. When you start finding the same like-minded people, you have such a deeper and enriching business you won't believe. And I really urge you to go out and find it and do it. So our goal as a business is to have over 1 million impacts per year. What does that look like? And here's a screenshot from our website. If you go to betterneverstops.global/impact, it will take you and show you these impacts that we have all around the world from all the things that happen good in our business. Every book that I sell, we actually then have an impact where we give a day's training to an entrepreneur in a less privileged position. And therefore it's all about, we are very closely aligned to the income generation and education impacts, as you can see here from these numbers we've done. That's our impact in our world, and that's what we're trying to promote. We live and breathe it. As you can see from our website, it's not something we just talk about. It's not a PR stunt or a marketing initiative. This is something that's deep rooted in our business. It's deep rooted in me as the entrepreneur and founder, because it's something I'm so passionate about, is having that purpose. So what's the action for you out of all this? And hopefully I've really inspired you to think about your purpose. I've inspired you to think a bit deeper about your business. And of course, because my goal is to inspire ordinary people to live extraordinary lives. It's ordinary people like you and I, the entrepreneurs and business owners of the world, to live those extraordinary lives and have those extraordinary impacts as well. So like I said to you, that I have a free gift for you. And for those guys on the podcast, you listen to this on the podcast, if you go to the program notes, you'll be able to download Our Time to Rise. It's written by two amazing gentlemen, Steve Pipe and Paul Dunn. It's a brilliant, clear and simple path for turning your business into a force for good in the world. And they'll show you some really simple steps that you can apply to your business literally tomorrow or as you read it. The book is about 80 pages long. It took me about an hour and a half to read, and I'm dyslexic, so it gives you some idea that it's not a big, thick, juicy, big book. But I will tell you now, it is so powerful. It will, for me, I had goosebumps reading this thing. It had the hair standing on the back of my neck. It is so powerfully written and so well written, and I really hope that it resonates with you as well. So if you go onto the program notes, whether that's on our betterneverstops.global website, onto our Love Your Business, or on the podcast where you got this from, or on YouTube, you'll be able to download that for free. You don't have to put an email address in. It's nothing like that. You can literally just download it, read it, absorb it. Please let me know what you think about it. Please reach out and tell us what you think. If do you need any more help implementing your business, please just reach out to us. I would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. So that's it. As always, you can catch up on all our previous podcasts or shows on YouTube, on Apple, on Spotify, on Google Podcasts, on Facebook, and of course on loveyourbusiness.tv as well. So as always, stay safe. I've been Adrian Peck, and remember, better never stops.
Love Your Business TV. Thank you. Join us next week and don't forget to subscribe.